So social media is going bananas on the Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page match, and the spot where Hangman decided to drink off the blood off the forehead of Swerve Strickland, and people are just going crazy over this, and their reaction is just ridiculous in my opinion. So we're going to be talking about that, and I'm going to give you my opinion. How is it that they want to get on AEW's behind over this, but yet they don't talk about GCW and a WWE match that happened years ago, but no one is complaining about that. So we'll be talking about that and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
Is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from the Boogie Down Bronx. And I am here with another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. And the topic today is the Texas Death Match that happened last Saturday on Full Gear for AEW's Full Gear between Swerve Strickland and Adam Hangman Page. All week, I've been seeing the comments, the supposedly journalists, and people complaining about how crazy and how Hangman Page and AEW crossed the line when it came to Hangman Page drinking off the forehead of Swerve Strickland's blood. It is ridiculous because the only reason this is happening, okay, in my opinion, is because it's AEW. The hate on AEW is ridiculous, okay? If anything, that match pretty much stole the whole show at AEW's Full Gear, okay? Because in reality, if you think about it, the main event was overbooked. I think the way the ending of that match between MJF and Jay White was overbooked, and it made Jay White look like he couldn't be a guy with one leg. I mean, nothing crazy, but the Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland was the match of the night. Now, many of you are going to be like, well, oh my God, he drank the blood off his head. AEW sucks because, they shouldn't be doing that. I mean, I heard people talk about they couldn't bring their kids to AEW anymore because their kids were scared because of what happened in the Texas Death Match. Now, if you're a parent and you're a wrestling fan, okay, and you know what the hell is a Texas Death Match, and you know how AEW operates, why would you bring your kids to a wrestling match knowing full well that it's going to be blood spilled and will not end the match? So when I read that a parent was pissed off, I can never go back to AEW event because, my kids were scared. I can't bring my kids. What do you thought it was? This is WWE? This ain't sport entertainment. Okay? You want to bring your kids to a wrestling match? You could bring them to AEW, but if you know a Texas Death Match is going to bring blood, why would you bring your kids? That's number one. Number two, if you follow the storyline between Swerve Strickland and Adam Page, you know that Swerve Strickland wants Hangman Page's spot. He beat Hangman Page at Wrestle Dream, but then Hangman Page stopped Swerve Strickland from beating Bryan Danielson in the match where the winner of that match gets a shot at Christian's TNT title. During that match between Swerve Strickland and Danielson, Swerve tried to cheat using Prince Nana's crown. Hangman Page stopped him from using this crown. So what happens? A couple of weeks later, now Swerve Strickland ends up going to Hangman Page's house. Pretty much is a no-no in the code of pro wrestling. He went into the house and ended up in his kid's room. And that's the rest of the story you already know. A couple of weeks after that, Hangman attacked Swerve Strickland at AEW. A couple of days before the pay-per-view, or a day before the pay-per-view, Hangman Page attacked Swerve Strickland at Revolver. And the match, you got what you got. And when he came out during his match against Swerve Strickland in the Texas Death Match, he didn't even wait till his entrance or his theme music. He went straight after Swerve Strickland, and he busted him open. Now, yes, what he did, drinking blood off his head, was it crazy? Yes. Because, I mean, my first thing in my head, I'm like, okay, dude, you're just drinking his blood. First of all, what about your health? That's health-wise. That's crazy and whatnot, So, yeah. So he passed the line a little bit, but the rest of the match was pretty good. The rest of the match was a Texas Death Match where everything goes, everything was used, tables, cinder blocks, all kinds of shit was used in this match. And instead of people focusing on the match itself, the only thing they remember is that spot with Hangman Page drinking blood out of Swerve's forehead. Okay, it's crazy. You have to sit back and ask yourself this question: have this wrestling community has turned soft? And pretty much they have turned soft, number one, and two, they only pick and choose who they want to go after. And again, the hate of AEW is real. It is coming from everywhere. Okay, it's like some of these wrestling fans watch an AEW event just to sit down and then be like, oh, you see what he did? Look what they did. Oh, it's stupid. And then so they could go and talk about it on social media or podcast or whatever it may be, just to shit on AEW, because that's what people do now. That's the cool thing. Before it was WWE. Oh, it's WWE. It's the cool shit to shit on. You know what I'm saying? But WWE, in their case, they were fucking up too. So, don't get me wrong. AEW has a lot of fucking problems, which I feel that Tony Khan needs to fix and whatnot. And now I'm seeing that there's these Texas Death Matches and all this, that's going to it's got to go slow down because, Will Ospreay signed with AEW. And even with Will Ospreay winning or joining AEW, I heard people saying, he's the cheap version of Ricochet. That shit had me laughing. Ricochet is nowhere near the talent of Mr. Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay has been the best of the best in the wrestling business. And I don't want to hear people go, he has to be Roman Reigns. Please, Roman Reigns right now is home counting the days that he could break these records from WWE. Okay? Don't get me wrong. This year, Roman Reigns has had good matches. But he has only wrestled about what, 11 times? Probably less, probably 6. Who knows? But anyway, we're not talking about Roman Reigns. But I'm talking about how these people, especially WWE fan base, when they don't get someone that they want, the first thing they say, he's a cheap version of this, or he's a cheap version of that. But yet, when there was reported that, Will Ospreay was coming, WWE was looking at Will Ospreay, but like, we're going to get Will Ospreay. Nobody that was talking all that have not seen a damn Will Ospreay match in New Japan. You've probably seen clips on YouTube, but they haven't sat down and watched this man come from wherever he came from all the way like I have. I've been watching Will Ospreay for the last 9 years. When he first showed up at the Best of the Super Junior, when he and Ricochet had their first showdown at the Best of the Super Junior, which was match of the year's probably candidate at that time. Okay. Because Ricochet is a great wrestler, but WWE just got him on lockdown. They don't want to push him. They want to keep him as, getting in matches with Logan Paul to talk about it's going to go viral. Yeah, okay. He went viral, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is that people love taking shots at AEW. I'll give you a good example. So, AEW, yes, they do some hardcore stuff, and there's a lot of blood. And some of the things that I get mad because every time I turn around, either Moxley's bleeding now, Juice Robinson decided to bleed. Somebody's always bleeding. Right. But it's funny because GCW has matches which is 10 times worse than AEW. Okay. They use light tubes. Okay. And they use the light tubes. I seen matches with Nick Gage when he used the light tube over Matt Cardona a couple of years ago. He hit him with like a whole stack of light tubes. The powder of that shit is contagious. So who's doing what worse? Okay. Now I said WWE in my introduction and why people haven't complained of a match a couple of years ago and went about 25 years ago. And that was the Mick Foley versus Undertaker, where Undertaker went and chokeslammed Mick Foley through the damn cage, top of the cage, and he landed all messed up 20 feet down with a tooth popping out from his nose. I didn't hear nobody complaining about that. I didn't hear it saying, oh, WWE's getting crazy, whatever. They didn't care because they knew that people, Mick Foley wanted to do these spots. Okay. And it's funny because the same guy, Mick Foley, he went on social media or whatever he said he has not watched the Swerve Strickland versus Page match, but had to make a comment. I'm like, but if you haven't watched the match, so what the hell are you talking about? Okay. And some of these guys, these legends, don't want to step in no one's foot in WWE because they got a legends contract. I mean, Mick Foley stepped on WWE for a couple of times, but he's still around. Legends contract. And especially, I think his son or his daughters want to be a wrestler. So they watch what they say. You know what I'm saying? They like the Booker T's. You know what I'm saying? And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because GCW does 10 times worse than what AEW does. They have hardcore matches almost every fucking month. Nobody's talking shit about that. Okay? I mean, they go even worse. They got woman versus man in matches where I saw Charles Mason, I think, had a match with Janai Kai or something like that. And I think it was in GCW. And he clotheslined the shit out of her. Nobody's talking nothing about that. Again, it's only when AEW does something, that's when everybody wants to react to it. Okay? You know, mind you that I know AEW does things sometimes that makes your head scratch and be like, why the fuck you did that? That makes no sense if you're trying to be the alternative. Okay? I'm not going to stand here and protect AEW all the way, but this match, the story is, I mean, it's match of the year candidate. So why are people bitching about something that, so he drank the fucking blood of his head. So what? That's what you focus on through the whole fucking match. Are you kidding me? And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because it's AEW. If it's AEW, you know, if it would have been New Japan, nobody care. If it would have been GCW, nobody care. If it would have been Impact, nobody care. If it would have been NWA, definitely no one cares. But, you know, but it's AEW. Let's take a shot at AEW because, you know, AEW sucks and people already put in the fucking tombstone on AEW. They're going to die. You know, they're not going to be around. I mean, the best part was I heard, oh, they're not going to be around. You know, they're going to lose their TV deal, whatever. You stupid motherfuckers. You know, it's ridiculous because you already put in the death, I guess the dagger on AEW about them doing certain things. And when they've been doing this, they had the freaking, what was it, the Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. It was a hardcore match. There was blood all over the place. And this was on TV. Did they get canceled? They still here. It's that people they don't want AEW around. They want everything to be WWE. Okay? The same people that want WWE to be the only thing were the same people bitching and moaning 4 years ago when WWE was the only thing in town. Okay? And WWE wasn't giving them what they wanted. They gave a shit about the fans because they figured, well, we're the talk, we're the big machine town, and all the promotions don't matter. I mean, they still the big machine in town, but now you got other AEW, which is number 2. Okay, and I don't want to hear that. Oh, NWA may be number 2. Please, Impact, or TNA, whatever they want to call themselves, they're not going nowhere because I'm hearing that Frankie Kazarian is gunning for the Impact World title, and he might beat, believe it or not, but he may beat the champion there, which is you know, Alex Shelley. I mean, they ain't gave it to Josh Alexander, but it may be Alex Shelley. So, I mean, I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. People just want to complain and bitch. People just bitch and moan about every fucking match that is in wrestling. When it comes to storyline, people want shit right away. When it comes, they don't want to wait. They don't want to take the time to marinate on the story and make it impactful. Or, you know, they don't like cliffhangers. They don't want to wait till the following week to find out something. They don't want to wait to a pay-per-view to watch something. It's like people don't want cliffhangers no more. They don't. You know what I'm saying? So AEW fans are also sometimes I had to laugh. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's ridiculous. But the best one is going to be the Survivor Series, because I know Survivor Series is coming up this Saturday or already passed, whatever it is. But, and they're thinking CM Punk is showing up, which is definitely, I can't wait for that, because this is the fan base. This is the IWC the way it is. No one used their head. No one used the logic. Everybody thinking about CM Punk is coming back, or, you know, and the reason they want to do that is because they think that CM Punk, if he does come to WWE, he's going to get a mic and he's going to shit all over AEW. Proves my point. People think that AEW shitting on them is the cool shit to do. So that is it for me this week. I wasn't going to do anything this week because there was really a lot of news coming, but every other day I kept seeing that comments and reaction over the Hangman Swerve match and about the drinking of the blood. Dave Meltzer was another one talking about that this may affect AEW when it comes to the contract here because of the TV deal that, you know, ESPN might look at them, Fox. AEW is not going anywhere from Warner Brother unless Warner Brother goes and get that big deal with the NBA. And then maybe a problem for AEW. So we'll see about that. But other than that, guys, I want to thank you once again for listening to my podcast. It's a very short one this week. I mean, not a lot going on in wrestling this week, but again, follow me on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also check out my store, the tcwr.veryimpressive.com. Again, that's tcwr.veryimpressive.com, tcwr.veryimpressive.com, and check out my sweaters, my hat, my t-shirts, all in there. You can register to the website. You can get everything in there. So check it out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. Subscribe, share it with your friends. Hit that notification bell for new uploads. I want to thank for all those people who have subscribed to my channel. Continue to support the podcast, and I definitely will continue to bring you all good content about wrestling and whatnot. So also check out my audio podcast every Thursday and whatnot. It's called Behind the Curtains. It's part of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report series called Behind the Curtain, where I talk about news and rumors going on in the wrestling business. This week, definitely, I'll have the Survivor Series review and tell you how I felt about that event, and definitely we'll check it out. So until then, guys, be safe, and I will definitely talk to you very soon. Be blessed, and I'll see you guys next week.